Hi everyone, quick card share for you guys. I did this sketch from Scrapbook Supplies Online.com. They have a monthly sketch challenge that includes a layout sketch, which I already did, my market, Halifax Seaport Market layout, which the process video is already posted. I decided to leave it almost exactly the same because I love this embellishment cluster of hearts and flowers and buttons, although I made mine just be hearts. And so I'll just show you my interpretation of it. I'll leave the sketch there. This is my first kick at the can. This is my first one. And this is for Scott, my husband, and he's taken photos of it, so he totally will not be very surprised. But it was a lot of fun to make. I really wanted to do like a large heart with a big cluster of other hearts, and super fun. What I did was I pulled out my Fashionable Hearts Embosslet again, which is from Stampin' Up. I've been using this a lot lately. I also have the butterfly one, and I use that one a lot too. And it cuts and embosses these really cool patterns onto hearts. There's 5 hearts in each time you send it through, and I always make a whole bunch of them at once because I love them. So that's what the die looks like, and I just ran that through with my Big Shot. And then for the big heart, I used my EK Success Big Heart Punch. And then on this one, I also have a couple of these heart within a heart punches, and I use that, and then I also use the negative part of it, the little punch out heart as well. So that's from this one. And it's also by EK Success. So those are what I used, and then the paper for this one is the Lost and Found Union Square pad, just their little paper pad. So it was really fun to make. The only thing that's kind of probably requires a bit of explanation is this dimensional heart. The big heart in the background has dimension. And what I did was using this punch, I punched 4 craft hearts like this. Oh, hang on. Okay, so I had these 4 hearts made out of craft paper, and I just ran a line of tape down each of them so that they were stacked and lined up perfectly, and then I added the top one and just ran my glue down the center instead of putting it over the whole thing. And then what you have is a stack of hearts that you can kind of bend like this. You can bend up the layers a little bit, like just kind of spread them out, and that gives it a bit of dimension. And then because it's a card that's going to be going probably into an envelope and being smushed and stuff, what I did was I actually put dimensional adhesive, little foam things on there, and I didn't bother attaching them on the other side. I just left the wrapper on them. So I didn't put it on every single layer because it would make it way too bulky, and I actually tried to make it so that they didn't line up at all, so that when this is in an envelope it won't be totally bulky. This is some Stampin' Up! Pleated ribbon. It's in their latest catalog, and I love it. It's so lush and satiny and really nicely pleated, and it's way easier than pleating your own, which I am really not good at. I'm just not even going to try that anymore. It's just bad news. So there's my first card. On the inside, I just did a bit of matting and took some of my extra hearts and lined them up and stapled them on. And that's a Stampin' Up! Stamp. And that's a Stampin' Up! Stamp too. It's from the Pennant Parade set. And then used the little jewelry tag punch, which is also Stampin' Up! And then I personalized it on the back with my personalized stamp and layered it with, this is more paper from the same collection, just so that the whole thing kind of matches, even the back. So, so that's the first one. The second one I turned on its side, and I used this roller, I think this is called Twill. It's like a cottony ribbon, and I used it because it's going to be, I think we're going to give this to Olivia's teacher, so I thought the ruler kind of worked well, and it's basically exactly the same thing, so I don't need to really tell you about it this time, but just a different look. And I used less hearts, and I made it kind of more clustery instead of just all over the place. I did add some machine stitching to both cards. And that's just an alternative to outlining for me. I love black stitching. And then I did the same thing on the inside. I put a little cluster of hearts just with the leftovers. And then on the back, I made the Created by Tracy stamp to match. And I actually grabbed the wrong pen. I thought that I had my Baja Breeze pen, which I think would match perfectly with this bluish paper. But I had the Wild Wasabi for some reason. I wasn't paying attention. But I think it still looks cute and it matches and stuff, so. Anyways, those are my cards. Thanks for watching, and have a good week.